Powers property just says we subtract our exponents. This is only a possibility if we have the same base. So first one, 6 to the 12th over 6 to the 5th. I'm going to ask you as a class, I'm going to say, class, if I have the same base in division, what do I do with my exponents? And you say subtract, okay? So class, if I have the same base in division, what do I do with my exponents? Subtract. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm going to do 12 minus 5, which is just 7. So this is 6 to the 7th. Easy. Next one. We have the same base again. -2 is our base. We need to make sure we put our answer in parentheses. 7 minus 4 is 3, -2 to the 3rd. Great. Next one. Yay. Let's combine what we learned yesterday with what we're doing today. This is like having a parentheses on the top. It looks like half bracket, half parentheses, but you get the point. It's like having parentheses on the top because there's 2 bases there. So what should I do first before I subtract? Tell the person next to you.
You add the 2 to the top?
Yeah, you should add these guys first. Because it's like having parentheses, so you're simplifying what's inside the parentheses first. So that would give me 4 to the 10th over 4 to the 4th, and then you can subtract. 4 to the 6th. Last one on this page. This looks a little bit weird. The first one's a fraction, the second one is not, so how can I make the second part of this a fraction? Pierre? Yep. Yay, and then we multiply straight across. So y to the 12th over y to the 9th. Same base, division. What do I do with my exponents? Subtract. That was weak. It's okay. We'll get better. 12 minus 9 is 3. Oops. Easy. Too easy. Let's go to the back. We have R and S. I don't see exponents on them, so what is their exponent? 1. It has a power of 1 because there's one of them. So R to the first and S to the first. If you want to actually rewrite it, you could. And then we multiply. 5 times 1. So it's R to the 5th. Over S to the 5th, because it's 5 times 1 again. Can I subtract these exponents? No, they're not the same base. Next one's really similar. Write it. Let's make this instead -4 over W raised to the 3rd. It's the same thing. You've just multiplied that negative and the 4. Okay, again, power to a power. Now, -4 is in parentheses raised to the 1st. That's important because it's negative. And W to the 1st, power to a power. Multiply those exponents. So it's going to be, this part's easy, -4 to the 3rd and W to the 3rd. Am I done?
No.
Finn, what should I do?
You have to distribute the times the 3 to the -1.
Distribute?
Or just
Well, we call it expanding.
okay.
That's actually what we call it. We're going to evaluate the -4 to the 3rd. So we expand it and then evaluate. So it's -4 times -4 times -4. -64. Because -4 times -4 is 16. 16 times 4 is 64, but it's negative because positive times negative is negative. Woo! Looking at this right now, you could think about these right now as like two parentheses. So looking at the two parentheses, do you see anything separately inside the parentheses that can be simplified? I don't either. A, B, C, so there's no duplicates up there, and then A and C, no duplicates on the bottom. So I think we're good. So let's do the next part. We're going to see, do we have power to a power? No, so we're good. Next thing, I'm looking at the steps on the whiteboard, by the way. It says multiply the coefficients. Well, this isn't multiplication anymore, this is division. And I have 3 over negative 2. So when we're thinking about division, what we think to ourselves is that fraction simplified? So I'm looking at the 3 and the negative 2 because those are my coefficients, which would give me this fraction. Oh, hello. Negative 3/2. Can I simplify that fraction any further? No, so don't mess with it. But what I would do is just start like my rewriting process. So I'm going to, maybe if you want to do it next to it, you could, or you could do it below it. I'm going to keep the 3 in the top, and I'm going to keep the negative 2 on the bottom, because we just said that fraction can't be simplified anymore. If it could be simplified, then you need to do that. So if it was 6/4, you would want to simplify it down to 3/2. Okay, next, let's look at the A's. So we took care of these. A to the 4th over A to the 1st. Same base, division. What do I do with my exponents? Subtract. Here's how I usually write this, and if you like to do this, it might help you. It just makes it go quicker, in my opinion. Well, I know I've got 1 on the bottom, so I cross that one out and make the one on the top a 3. It's the same thing as subtracting, but whenever you have bigger numbers on the bottom and the smaller numbers on the top, this will work better. So there's no more A's on the bottom now because I took away the one that was there and I subtracted it to the top. Cancels it out. So now I have A to the 3rd at the top. Okay, done with the A's. What about the B's? Someone explain to me, what do I do with the B's? Luke?
You keep it the same, you just move the B's to the second power
Over, yeah, just, I see what you're saying. Just write it down, basically, right? Because there's nothing else. Okay, what about the C? C to the 4th and C to the 1st. What should I do? Subtract. So Emily, I'm going to cancel them out. How many C's should I end up with and where?
C to the 3rd on top.
Yep, because it crosses out. That's a 3. So I canceled out the one on the bottom, and then I also canceled out one from the top, because that's like dividing 1 out. Okay? So C to the 3rd. And that will be it. So you're done with that. Just a quick note on E, because the first one was pretty simple, I feel like. E, you end up P to the 3rd over P to the 3rd. Well, if you subtract, you get P to the 0. So you should not have any more. And so you should just cross out the P's. They go away. There's 2 Q's in the bottom, 3 in the top, so it becomes Q to the 1st. On the top, M to the 4th needs to stay on the bottom. You can make this Q to the 1st or just Q. It means the same thing. So there should be no more P's. And you can put the negative on the top or the bottom or the middle. It doesn't matter. Usually it looks a little bit better to put it in the middle.